Hi guys, so I am so excited to be back with another makeup video. I teach Flybarre, which I talked about in my last video. It's super awesome. It's a ballet bar workout method. But when I go and teach my classes, or even when I go take a class, I like to kind of put it together. And I'm gonna do actually a workout makeup look, which obviously you are gonna be sweating a little bit. That's not a super sweaty class for me anyway, so I can stand to put a little makeup on my face. I've been using mineral makeup and that's not making me break out. So you still get the polished look, you still look like you're kind of done, but depending on the kind of skin you have and the kind of makeup you have, you can still wear it to class. So I'm gonna start. I have moisturized and I've used my, this is a Neutrogena product that I'm using. It's like a very sheer liquid, kind of like a moisturizer, but it's got SPF 70 in it, so I absolutely love this. It goes right on, soaks in, you don't feel like you have anything on your skin. And then over that, I use a little bit of a primer. This is just the MAC Prep and Prime, but really any primer will do. To be honest, I think this is the best primer market, and I probably won't repurchase it, but it's what I have right now and I'm using it. I've used it for weddings and stuff as well, and I've used it on different clients. I think it's okay. I think it works. Is it the best? No. Sometimes I'll actually use a pore perfector instead, which I can show you in a minute. Anyway, I'm gonna let the primer kind of sink in for a minute. In the meantime, since I'm not gonna be using a liquid makeup, I'm gonna go for the brows. So what I like to do is use my MAC pencil first. This one I'm using right now is Brunette, and I usually use either the Brunette one, which I believe is limited edition, so I stocked up on that, or the Lingering one, which is really good if you're blonde. It's more of like a grayish light brown. The Brunette is great if you have a little tiny hint of red, but you don't want your eyebrows to look red. It's a little less ash, and so I kind of switch back between the two depending on what my hair looks like. So I'm gonna start, I'm back on Bare Minerals, which I hadn't used in a really long time, but I knew that I needed to go back to mineral makeup because I was gonna be, working out all the time. So what I start with is just a light dusting of the mineral powder. Sometimes I use their brushes, sometimes I don't. Just kind of swirl that over my face. Now, I like a good coverage, also because I don't have the most perfect skin. I like to even out all my uneven skin tones. So I do the light dusting first, and what I think that does, it kind of gives you a powdery primer, so that you go back and you kind of fill in and even out all those skin tone issues, if you have them. It just makes your skin more glowy and perfect. So I'm using the Ready Minerals. This is the Bare Minerals Ready Foundation. I'm using a medium beige. I also like this because it has an SPF of 20, which is not super high, but it's a little more than the 15. So this time of year, SPF, I really feel like you can't get enough of it. I use this brush that I actually bought from them. It's really just like a dense stippling brush. I use that and I kind of go over a little more heavy-handed. The reason I use the primer is because I do think it assists with the powder foundation going on smoother. And at my age, it does kind of help to smooth out the lines and things like that so that these powder foundations don't look too chalky. Something also to keep in mind is when you're using a powder foundation like this, when you first put it on, you might look a little powdered. But because it's a mineral product, it will be absorbed into your skin eventually. Probably by the time you leave the house or you get where you're going, it will have kind of blended in and not look so flaky. And what I also like about this one is you can bring it with you, and from a touch-up perspective, but also a sun protection perspective, you can reapply. Because sunscreen, you really need to reapply like every hour or two for it to maintain the efficacy of what the SPF is that you think you're using. If you're doing your makeup at 7 in the morning, by the time you go out to lunch, you're not protected anymore. Most people don't think about that. They just think it's on and it's gonna be there until they wash it off, but apparently it's not true. So that really evens things out pretty good. You can always go back and buff a little more in. Like I said, I like a pretty coverage, and so the girl, she recommended me at the store, she recommended I get the two products, and I don't think she was just trying to sell me more product. I do think that they work together really nicely, and I'll go back with what's left in the cap, the loose stuff, and I'll buff it out. Now I'm using a different camera today, so I feel like the light is not quite as good. I might go and add another lamp in a second. Now, it might seem a little strange, but I'm gonna go back with a little bit of concealer, and I found that I can use this particular Doublewear by Estee Lauder. I can use it over the mineral makeup, and it's fine. And I usually just do a little bit on my nostrils. I get a little red, and I do a little bit, just kind of on the inner corner under my eye. Keep it very light, and I just kind of lightly that out. And like I said, I find that it blends fine into the mineral makeup. You would think that a liquid on a powder is going to conflict, and you would have to do the liquid first. With this particular formula, it seems just fine. And I like to do the concealer after because then I know where I'm going to need it. You only need the concealer where your foundation has. Now, the pencil has been done for the brows, but I do like to go back with a little bit of brow powder, which kind of sets it. And it sticks really nicely to the waxy formulation of the brow pencil. I use my Anastasia, and this is the medium ash, which I find is perfect. And I kind of use one or the other because you get two colors in each, or I mix them, but they interchange very well. And now the brow pencils from MAC, although I do love them, you will go through them if you use them daily very, very quickly. I would say in about 2 months or so. And I think that's pretty fast for a product because most products, it takes me a while to go through them. So brows are done. And that kind of, I know that I'm gonna do my brows. I know that I'm gonna do my foundation. So I always do the things that I know I'm gonna lay down first, and then I build from there. And because this is gonna be workout makeup, it's gonna be pretty natural. I'm gonna take a teeny bit of my favorite bronzer. This is the Chanel one. This is the Terre Ambre number 63, which works really well as a contour. And it works pretty well on most skin tones. And I kind of just frame my face, and I get a little bit under my cheekbones. Now, if you have hyperpigmentation like me, you have to have a really light hand with it because you don't want it to draw attention to those areas. Like see on my cheek, it sort of brought it out. So I might go back with a little bit of concealer there. But you still don't have to be a pale face. And I do think that the camera picks it up a little bit. Next thing I'm gonna do is take my blush brush, and my favorite blush of the moment, this is Chanel Tumulte, is number 70. It's a really summery blush, although I got it during the winter, so I think it's really, versatile. And I just kind of a little bit on my cheeks. Blush and working out, really less is more, because you will get a little pinker, all the color will come to your face with the blood flow, so you don't need to bump it up too much. And then I usually go back with my larger powder brush. This is a MAC 150. Kind of just swirl everything together, just so it doesn't look like I've pushed down or bronzer down, like you want it all to kind of go together. And the next thing I'm going to do for the eyes is I'm going to take I kind of had a little shopping spree at Bare Essentials the other day, so I got this cream eyeshadow, which I think is working great for working out, because I put it on and it really doesn't move. Even if you sweat a little bit, it just stays put. And I'm not sure that it's waterproof, but I think I might try going swimming with it and see what happens. So again, this is not makeup for, a really long run or like a spin class, a cycling class that you're gonna be sweating profusely. This is like a lighter workout makeup. I agree. I wouldn't wear face or really any makeup at all if I was gonna sweat a lot, because sweating a lot, it's just gonna make a mess and your skin is gonna just drink it all up. I don't think it's so great for your skin either. So usually that's where I stop as far as the eyeshadow is concerned. Just put like a little pinky color there. Then what I'll do next is I'll take one of my favorite eyeliners. I'm using two Chanel ones at the moment. This is actually an older one that I've had. It's like a dark blue. It almost looks black, like a gray black, but it's actually a dark blue, and I believe it's called Marine. It's so old, and I've used it so much that you can't even tell anymore. But it's a good product, and I'll probably go maybe another week or two to sharpen it maybe 1 or 2 more times, then I'll have to let it go. But I'll kind of just wiggle that in between my lashes. So I'm not really going in the waterline so much. I'm not going on top of the lashes. I'm just trying to get it in between. And that just creates like an invisible line. So it just makes my lashes look that much more prominent. It really just frames your eyes a little bit. And it's not picking up like amazing on camera, but it does give you a little bit more. Then I also got this one. It's a waterproof eyeliner. It's also by Chanel. This one is a little more blue, and I might go around the inside and just kind of add a little color in a rim. Because it's waterproof, it's great for summer, and it's great gym. Even if you're not necessarily swimming, you are going to be sweating. A waterproof product, really any kind of product that's waterproof, is going to be your friend in the summer. That's why you see so many waterproof products come out in the summer. Gotta curl the eyelashes, even if you're going to the gym. Now, if I were doing like a real eyeline on top of my lashes, I would curl before I did the liner, because I find when I crimp those lashes, I mess up my eyeliner. But because I just did that invisible line between the lashes, this will not mess them up. And I just kind of pump the eyelash curler a little bit to make sure I'm getting all those lashes in there. Then I will take My favorite mascara at the moment. Kind of doing a lot of Chanel today too. This is like a Bare Minerals and Chanel commercial today. And I didn't mean for it to be like that. It's just kind of what I'm using at this moment. And this is the Chanel Le Volume de Chanel. Do I think it's worth the money? I don't know. Good mascara. It's a really good mascara. If you want to treat yourself to a good mascara, it is really good. There's also some other really good mascaras that are about a third of the price. And with this mascara, what I like about it is you really can just keep going and going and going until you get the lashes that you like. And I'll also mention that this mascara and almost every other mascara I've ever used, when you first uncap it, because it's brand new, it's going to be a little more liquid. As you continue to use it, its performance will increase because it'll dry out just enough to give you a little more structure in its formulation, like it adheres to the lashes a little better. And then once it passes that peak, it will start to dry out a little more and it won't work quite as well. So I would say after like 3 weeks, you're into like the best, 2-3 weeks, you're into like the best performance of the mascara. And then, you know, you might ride there for like a month or two and then it's gonna probably start to be a little too dry. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually coating it with my waterproof mascara. This is just a Covergirl Professional. Again, this one I didn't like it when I first got it, but now that I've used it a little bit, I think it's doing really, really well. And what I do, the reason I coat it, because I want my lashes to be waterproof. So now for lips, I do use a few steps, even though I'm going to be at the gym, because I'm going to be drinking water and I'm going to be talking a lot if I'm teaching. So I use the Prep and Prime lip. Now this, oh my gosh, this product, I will not put anything on my lips without it. I just won't. I think it is so good. I don't know what I did before I had this. I need to buy like 5 of them and just put them in every purse. So I'll put that on. I'll let it sit for a moment, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, something like that. You know, kind of go over whatever else might need attention. Buff out, you know, if the powder kind of settled into any creases, what have you. Make sure my brows look good. And then once it's had a minute to set ever so slightly, I'll take a lip liner. This is the current lip liner I'm using right now. It's Rose Corail. I think it means coral en français. And I'll line and fill in my lips. Using the primer and then the liner on your lips, it just makes your lipstick so much better. And it sticks. I'm the kind of person, I put lipstick on and like half an hour later it's just gone, like I've eaten it or something. I must lick my lips or something like that. Pretty gross if you think about how much lipstick you might ingest. But for some reason, when I use these primers and the liner, and I do it all together, my lipstick really stays. And then this is the lipstick I was talking about. This is the Chanel Gracile. But any, you know, really any light pink or nude, I would recommend for the gym. I wouldn't go with a bright red because you are going to be drinking water. You are going to be sweating. So I'd definitely go for something that's a little more toned down. This lipstick I really liked, but when I was using it on its own, it was really pale. And I felt like you couldn't even see it. And I really wanted to see the pink more. So that's why I got the liner. And I find that the liner is just the perfect accessory because now I can see it. And what I'm going to do is go back over and just shape those lips up. I could top it off with a little bit of gloss. This is another one I've been using for a while. This is Estee Lauder Pink Kiss. I do have the lip gloss that goes with the Chanel colors. It's very similar to this one. It's a little more pink as this is a little more peach. So I think I'm gonna go with this one today. So that's pretty much it. What I do find, if I get super sweaty, like sweatier than I had anticipated, what I'll do is come home and I'll just wipe my face with like a makeup cleansing, like a MAC makeup cleansing towelette, and then my eyes are just fine, and then I might just, you know, put a little more sunblock on, a little more mineral powder. But this is the kind of makeup that you can move in, you can sweat in, you can, you know, play with your kids in if you take them outside, and you look polished, but you still don't look like you're going to a wedding or like the Grammys or something like that. It's just a very polished, everyday look. And the main reason why I think this works is the cream eyeshadow. I think cream eyeshadows are a great, great product to use when you're busy and you just want to kind of put a little lid color on and go. It's such a great idea. MAC paint pots also work really well for that, and they come in all different colors. But I love this tube. I feel like it's very, very versatile, very easy to take with you. So Anyway, I hope you like the look. I would love to know what you guys think. I would love to know what you do as far as makeup is concerned when you're working out or go to the gym. Do you like to go barefaced, or do you like to kind of, you know, you never know who you're going to see there, right? So let me know, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, I will list my products below, and I always welcome your comments and feedback. Thanks so much.